Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to present my research on development of interactive learning multimedia for object-oriented programming, a didactic design research or DDR approach. My name is Putri Salma Nurmalasari and I'm from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. This research represents an important contribution to the field of education and I'm excited to share my findings with you all. Without further ado, let's dive into the details. First is the introduction or research background and problem statement. First is new educational paradigm. The Merdeka curriculum changes the roles of teachers and students, viewing teachers as facilitators and students as critical actors in learning. The Merdeka curriculum or independent curriculum is one of the new curricula being implemented in Indonesian education. Next is implementation of independent curriculum. The Merdeka curriculum alters the roles of educators and learners, seeing educators as facilitators and learners as pivotal participants in the learning process. Next, interaction in learning. Learning involves interaction among teachers, students, materials, and the surrounding environment aimed at creating effective learning experiences. Next is challenges in lesson planning. Some teachers face challenges in planning lessons, especially in responding to student responses, which can result in misconception about the material. Difficulties in learning OOP. Studies show that students struggle with object-oriented programming or OOP, leading to a decline in student performance. Next, difficulties in learning OOP. Students struggle to adopt the object-oriented paradigm due to ineffective teaching methods. Next is student-centered learning design. The solution to student difficulties involves designing learning that considers students' condition, environmental situation, and anticipates the diversity of student responses. And the last one is the role of multimedia in learning. The main obstacle is the lack of use of visual media. Multimedia has a great potential to enhance how students learn and acquire information, leading to maximum learning outcomes. Next is the purpose of the study. The purpose of the study is designing and developing didactic designs capable of enhancing learning outcomes and minimizing student learning obstacles. Designing and building learning media based on didactic designs, and analyzing cognitive learning outcomes and student learning obstacles in the object-oriented programming or OOP subject. Next is methodology. The research adopts a qualitative approach using the didactical design research or DDR method. The research design used in this study is an experimental study with a pre-experimental design of the one-group pretest post-test design type. The formal steps of didactical design research consist of three stages. First is prospective analysis, metapedagogical analysis, and the last one is retrospective analysis. Next is study participant. The population involved in this study is the 11th grade students of SMKN 4 Bandung or vocational high school in Indonesia majoring in software engineering or RPL. Use a non-probability sampling technique called purposive sampling. The sample criteria used are students who haven't learned about inheritance. The study involved 33 of 11th grade students of RPL's major from vocational high school in Indonesia. Next is the data collection. The first one is the field study. Use interviews and questionnaire. Number two, test of analytical ability on learning obstacle is the test to analyze learning obstacle using Google Form. Expert validation instrument using instrument from LORI 1.5. Test instrument include validity, reliability, difficulty level, and discriminative power testing. And the last one is student feedback that using Google Form. Next is the result from prospective analysis. During the field study, We conducted some observation which involved reviewing existing issues to obtain accurate data regarding to difficulties experienced by students in learning. And the observation were carried out by interviewing RPL teachers and 3 students, as well as distributing the forms related to the student learning experiences. Based on the chart over here, many responded or students answered that the material on C++ is considered difficult to learn. However, C++ is a subject that taught during the odd semester or the first semester of the 10th grade, and some of them have already studied the material. Meanwhile, the research was conducted by seeking samples who have not yet studied about the material. So we decided to use the object-oriented programming, which is rated as the second most difficult by students. After analyzing the learning experience and form, the reason that the subject and material are difficult to learn based on student response is shown on the chart over here. Most students feels that the material is complex, intricate, involved too many coding syntaxes, and because it's a coding lessons that requires logic. And second most students answer that they feel they haven't grasped the concept, find the material confusing, and lack depth in understanding. And many respond from students. Next, upon analysis of the learning obstacle test question given to the student and interview to several students and teachers, the following results were obtained in the table. Based on this result, we compile a learning obstacle test with object-oriented programming consisting of 25 questions to precisely determine the types of learning obstacle experiences by a student and to ascertain whether the phenomenon observed in the test result indeed constitute a learning obstacle. The type of student learning obstacle used in the study are epistemological, ontogenic, and didactic. In this stage, the researcher construct the learning trajectory for students on the topics of inheritance within 2 main class sessions for content delivery. In this stage, the analysis result will serve as a reference for formulating the learning trajectory for the student. The learning trajectory will guide the teacher or in the instructional design process that needs to be developed or adapted. Next is result for metapedagogical analysis or metapedidactic analysis. In this stage, the implementation of the didactic design and learning media takes place. During this stage, the researcher also records various student responses that arise during the learning process. At the beginning of the learning process, students are given a pretest, then proceed to the learning stage, and the final stage involves administering a post-test and conducting student interviews. The learning activities involve the problem-based learning or PBL approach. The learning process spans in 2 sessions, and in the last activity from the second session, student must study about the inheritance and the implementation of inheritance and conducting an evaluation test at the end of the learning session. Next is the result for retrospective analysis. Additionally, the majority of students have understood the concept of inheritance, grasped the concept of parent class and child class. the use of keyword extend, and are more motivated in their learning. Furthermore, students still face unresolved learning obstacles, named as follows in shown in the table. First, students' understanding of prerequisite material is still lacking, particularly regarding of encapsulation. Number two, lack of understanding in implementing inheritance in programming language. Number three, unable to differentiate types of inheritance. Uh, Next is the conclusion of this research. Didactic design and learning media for the object-oriented programming or OOP subject, specifically in the topics of inheritance, can enhance students' cognitive learning outcomes and minimizing learning obstacles experienced by students. Although there has been an improvement in student learning, there are still learning obstacles present such as epistemological and ontogenic obstacles, thus requiring revisions to the didactic designs and development of learning media to minimize students' learning obstacles. And students' responses to the learning media have been highly positive, indicating its potential to support further learning. However, this research still requires further investigation, namely, the first one is the developed didactic design can be expanded or updated according to the needs and schedule of classes. And number two, the learning media can be further developed by adding other features that can assist in the learning process with any teaching model. For example, adding quiz function and checking quiz result on the website media so that teachers do not need to individually check and evaluate students' quizzes. Additionally, adding help features in the form of pop-ups so that students who are unfamiliar with menu icons feel supported and receive information about each feature function available in the learning media. As we run to a close, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your active participation and engagement throughout this conference. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum.